introduce yourself, guys.
Chris?
Ken?
Derek?
All in attendance. Good job. And on time.
Present.
So, what's a street name? We're going to talk about street names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Kirby finally got a tribute in New York, which seems so
Yes.
appropriate.
Jack
Deserves
Kirby
it.
way.
He deserves it.
Oh,
Oh,
he deserves it. I mean, for anyone who's a geek, I mean, that's a huge, huge, respect for that, for that man. I mean, it's
And it's in his old neighborhood too, which is kind of
yeah,
cool. Like, and he would often like in both in his Marvel and his comic book work, he would often reference his neighborhood. But
yes,
then also didn't he do a storyline about growing up in his neighborhood? Like I
yeah, because
remember,
I
I've
think
never
he
actually
did,
read it.
yeah. His
he called
It's
heritage.
called like Yancey Boys or
yeah,
something like that.
Yancey Street.
Yes.
I think at Delancey Street, he called it Yancey Street. And yeah, there's a lot of stories. I mean, that's one thing I remember reading Fantastic Four and stuff like that. That's one of the street names I remember from the comic.
Yeah. So I think his street, I don't think it's Yancey Street. I think Yancey Street is still the same, but it's one of the intersections on
Yeah,
Yancey,
that's
and
it.
it's Jack Kirby Way. And now I don't remember what the original street is called, but it's Jack Kirby Way and Yancey. So that's kind of a neat, cool thing that you can now go see a sign where those two streets intersect.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And a lot of respect for New York City for doing that because that's you know, acknowledging a historical area that especially for comics. I mean, that's a big thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I would probably be, you would probably be lying if, the sort of popularity of Marvel Comics now didn't play a part in that. But I think that's one of the good things we get now with the sort of the Marvel movies being in the industry is people are starting to actually look at, well, who made these guys? And while Stan
But
Lee does get a lot of credit, I
when
think
you sent me
Kirby
the
is
when you sent me the link about the Jack Kirby way last week or earlier in the week, I remember hearing about this about 2, 3 years ago that they were thinking about naming a street after Jack Kirby, and
yeah.
that's so I mean yes, the movies and everything help, but again, you know, for non-comic fans like I mean especially like a city like New York to acknowledge that that's great.
Yeah.
That is usually most would have been content to be like, oh, Stanley Way because Stan Lee was more in
That's
on.
another yeah
But the fact that Jack Kirby got the recognition, like
yes
long overdue recognition, because like well, the most non-geek would know who Stan Lee is. You'd have like most of the everyman would have to dig deeper to find out who Jack Kirby was, who Steve Ditko was. Um, but the fact that Jack Kirby got the street name is again long overdue.
Yeah. Well, I think part of the thing when you think about Marvel comic books, while we can argue about who wrote the comic books for sure, I think a lot of it had to do with just people chatting in a meeting and then saying, "Okay, Jack, you go make that comic book." But I think Jack Kirby was really the one that put Marvel comic books in New York City because I think his influence when he's drawing, like when he would draw a street, he would look out his window and go, "Well, I'm going to draw that street because that's what I see." And so I think the idea of the city dedicating that to him makes sense because he was really the one responsible. Like I don't think Stan Lee said, oh, the Fantastic Four office is going to be down the street. I think he said, oh, well, this Fantastic Four office, this tower is going to be in the city. And I think Jack Kirby went, well, the only reference I have is when I look out my window or walk down the street. So
yeah
I'm going to make this New York. So I think the whole idea, like when one of the things about differences between DC and Marvel is DC tends to be in these hypothetical cities, whereas Marvel takes place in more realistic and real cities. And I think Jack Kirby, when he was creating, was the root of that
same
to
thing
some
with when you
degree.
watch the Fantastic Four movie, the new one, when the thing's on the street, it gives you that New York attitude. You could tell that's a real street, and that's it kind of had the feeling of Jack Kirby comic.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the whole thing. He created that aesthetic for Marvel
Yeah,
of it being a real street. So he's the one that to make New York famous with Marvel Comics, it was him.
but I agree with Derek where it's kind of interesting that they didn't call it Stan Lee way and Jack Kirby way. You know, uh, you know, I more kudos to the mayor and whatever committee in New York that does it, that acknowledge that Jack Kirby was a huge creative talent. I mean,
Yeah.
we could go on and on about Stan Lee, but I think Jack Kirby deserves this.
Yeah, I think so
Mm,
too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah.
In fact, I think he deserves more, but it's a good start.
It's a good start, no, but that's huge. I saw news on the news they were talking about it, and it had his daughter, a granddaughter, sorry,
Granddaughter,
granddaughter
yeah.
talking about it. I'm wondering what his son and I don't know. I just remember him having a son. I don't know if he has any other kids.
I
So
don't remember.
I'll have
yeah,
to look. I'll have to look into that. I don't even know
but
if they're still here either.
The other thing too is, that kind of makes you interested about whether there any other tributes to comic book artists around
Like
the
who?
world.
Like who?
Well, I know that in Cleveland,
yeah, Cleveland Superman statue.
Yeah,
there's a
okay.
whole park. It's a Superman Plaza,
Yeah,
and the Schuster and Siegel get quite a bit of reference. Also, if you apparently go to the front of their original house, there's plaques up for them there. So I know that Cleveland has a big one. I know, I mean, Alger in Belgium has
yeah.
quite a bit. I went to his museum and everything like that. So
Cool.
there's definitely a lot of tribute to. There can be tribute, but I feel like there could be more.
No, it could be more, but again, no disrespect to any of the other creators and stuff, but comics is Jack Kirby.
That's fair to
I mean,
say.
I'm sorry, Jack Kirby, come on, you know, he was
I don't
comics.
know. I think Siegel and Schuster's is well deserved too.
Yes,
Yeah, I would
but
agree with
but
Chris that
but
yeah, that's
but
fair.
it's fair. No, I agree, but again, I mean, hey, he's called the king for some reason.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Siegel and Schuster were never called the king, so
Yeah, I think Siegel and Schuster probably. I think Jack Kirby has gotten more publicity for being cut out as well, and I
yes,
think he produced more. Like
yes.
Siegel and Schuster created basically comic books that we are, but quite frankly, other than they did some writing on other stuff like Justice Society, I think there
Yeah,
was
some early justice,
Yes.
yes.
yeah. So there was a bit more that they did, but when you think about how much Jack Kirby did
No,
and how little
yeah.
he got, that's why
No,
he
and how
sort of
much in the characters he created. Come on, one example, look at Galactus. I
yeah.
mean, just to create that character, and
With
I
all
think,
the all the fourth world characters, if you go to the
yeah,
DC, like he's did so much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That
he was,
guy's
I
a
mean, he could
master.
draw. I think he could draw quick. I mean, that was one of the things about him that was so amazing was like the amount of detail he would get in such a quick amount of time. Like, and his detail is the most deceiving, like as an artist, it's the most deceiving detail. It's like, it's really simple looking, but so complicated to figure out.
and the backgrounds. Oh, look at
Oh
the
yeah.
pencils. The backgrounds are like, man, how much time did you spend on this?
And the Kirby
Yeah.
crackle. Don't forget the crackle.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
One of my favorite elements in his comic books. Love
And you know
that.
what? That's really hard to draw. I've tried to do it. It's really hard.
It really
You know
is.
what's funny? I bought a Marvel Legends Ultron figure, and they actually included the Kirby crackle.
Did
I was
they?
like, yeah, it's an accessory you can like put on the on Ultron. But I
Now,
thought it was cool.
one thing, I think Tom and I were talking about this, and when someone posted a picture of it, Jack Kirby's drawing table and chair.
Oh yeah.
You look at that, you're going, how the hell did he sit on that chair? How did he
Yeah.
draw at that table? But he created amazing stuff at that table.
Well, those
Yeah.
guys would chained to their desk back then. You have to understand that. Like,
No, but Jack Kirby had the most basics, look, if you look at the chair, it looked like something from his kitchen. You know,
Probably was
yeah,
something.
but he loved what he was doing, right?
no, he did. No, he did. But he's an amazing, amazing creator, and well deserves his straightening.
You know what? We are all soft artists when it comes to that sort of thing. Because like
Yeah.
one of the examples I have is when I was working in animation, an animator friend of mine was doing a kid's book, and I was coloring it for him. And so he was legendary animator. Like this guy could work anywhere. Worked for Disney. did brilliant animator. Like if they're probably in the early aughts and the 90s, if there was a Disney movie made, his name was on there at high up in animation. So really high up animator. So I went to his house because we were going to go over the colors that I did. And I went and I said, "Oh, can I see your studio?" And we go downstairs. There's literally a furnace right here. It's just a folding chair and a wooden desk with a light table in it, and that was it. And he's like, "Yeah, I expected you to have like this studio with pens and markers and ink and all kinds." It's like, no, I just, I go to the furnace. My kids have their rooms and this and that. So like the idea of like when I see stuff, like even when I saw Hergé's desk, it's just a really simple wooden flat desk with a couple of pens.
Yeah.
It's like we are soft as artists.
Kirby, not even just his drawing skills, but his imagination. I mean, the storytelling.
Raw, unfiltered imagination.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The guy, he was drawing till very late and creating stuff. He kept that up.
Right up until, I think almost right up to the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny because I feel like any of Kirby's failures were because he was too far ahead of his time.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you look at some of the stuff that maybe wasn't as popular, it was because it was kind of out there. But then when you kind of look at it now, you're like, this is
I think the publishers
stuff.
like DC and stuff like that didn't give him a chance. Like the New God stuff, they didn't give him a chance on that. And come on, the
New God stuff is too good for its time.
It was. They just didn't see it. That's the problem. And
I don't think readers were prepared for it either.
Yeah.
I still own that graphic novel, the one that DC did for the New Gods. It's just such a great book.
Oh,
I love
Hunter Dogs, right?
Yeah, 100. Yeah, it's hard to get if you can't find it, but it's such a great book. Oh my God.
Okay, I think that's a good way to end this episode. So if you're in New York, go to Jack Kirby Way.
And take a photo.
Yes.
And send it to Chetan.
Yes.
Maybe we can do a road trip in the future.
Tag him on
we should.
How about this? The official Geek Shop, we'll do a road trip. We'll drive through Cleveland, check out Siegel and Schuster's monument, then drive down to New York and go to Jack Kirby Way along the way.
Okay, that sounds good.
Awesome.
That sounds good.
Awesome.